sure to check out Ageless Geeks for your figures and collectibles. So what is going on, my fellow collectors? How is everybody doing today? Daredevil19 here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Bandai Tamashii Nations SH Figuarts Star Wars Revenge of the Sith YODA. So let's get into it right away and take a quick look at the box. So we do of course get the basic style box when it comes to the SH Figuarts Star Wars line, and YODA's box is a little bit wider compared to what we're usually getting. So on the front of the box here, we do not get a window since it is a web exclusive. We do get a couple images of the figure looking pretty darn cool there. Then the top here says Star Wars and YODA and SH Figuarts, and on the bottom it does say Tamashii Nations and Bandai. And then here is the bottom of the box with the barcode and blah 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 stuff, and wow, that's a lot of blah 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 stuff there. Then here is the top of the box, and then the one side there with the Tamashii Nations quality sticker. The other side we do get an image of the figure. Then the back of it we do get a bunch of pretty cool poses you can get yodeling Yoda into, along with most of his accessories. But anyway, that is the packaging. Let's get this figure to take a closer look at the most powerful Jedi Master that surprised the hell out of me when he fought Count Dooku in Attack of the Clones, making Count Dooku run away like a big old scaredy cat. And hopefully we do get some Yoda movies or a series, because it's definitely needed. Alrighty, taking a closer detailed look, and Tamashii Nations, I think, did a fantastic job on this Yoda here. It is pretty much like a 3-inch figure to fit in with 6-inch scale figures. So with the figure being so small, I think they executed the detail extremely well on it, especially on the head sculpts or face sculpts. Looks exactly like Yoda, like how he did in the prequels. So big plus to Tamashii Nations for that there. And we get like some shading throughout the face. The eyes both painted looking in the same direction. We get his wrinkles all over because he's like 2,000 years old, even on the head as well. And then we do get his horseshoe haircut here, and the hair is sculpted extremely well on there, and the ears turned out really nice as well. So excellent job on the head sculpt there. The neck has the wrinkles on it as well. Now for the torso here, we do get his Jedi robe, and we do get 3 different ones. So the Jedi robes do have some very nice shading all throughout it, very nice sculpted wrinkles all throughout it. There's the hood there. Some people might have wished you could have put the hood up, but personally for me, I don't really mind, and I don't think he really ever did wear it with his hood up. But the sculpted wrinkles look great on it. It is a soft rubbery type plastic, and we do get the shading as well. And on the arms turned out pretty good also, as you can see there. And then for what he's wearing underneath, they did a good job with it. There is no shading on it, but I mean, it turned out pretty good. We got a nice like sculpted texture to the brown clothing that he's wearing underneath the Jedi robe there, which looks pretty cool. And we do get sculpted wrinkles all throughout it as well. And this is a separate piece, the crotch piece, and it looks like a diaper to me. I just felt like I had to mention that because it does look like a diaper, or what sumo wrestlers wear. But besides that, everything did turn out pretty good, and I do like what they did with the joints on the ankles. They made it like a barbell type joint, so you get great movement out of it. But we get some nice sculpt and paint detail on the feet as well. So overall, I think they did a fantastic job with this being such a small figure. The detail, I think, turned out exceptionally well, and definitely can't be any more happy with how it turned out. But anyway, let's continue on. Moving on to the accessories, Yoda is included with a pretty good amount of stuff. So what we do get 3 interchangeable head sculpts. And starting on the left, we do get the basic stern looking face, which is the one that does come on the figure out of the packaging. Then in the middle there, we do get another basic stern looking face, but this time he's looking off to the left, and that one's probably my favorite out of all 3 of them. And then finally, all the way on the right, we do get the closed eyes face, and that's when he's using the Force, when he's battling Count Dooku. So definitely some great alternate faces to include with Master Yoda, and they could not have done any better of a job when it comes to the detail on all 3 of them, and it's very easy to swap them. I'll show you how to do that right now. And swapping Yoda's heads is very simple, so I did put the other stern face on there so you can see what it looks like. But to swap them, you just pull up, it pops right off the barbell type joint. Take whatever head you want to put on there, push down, and then there you go. As simple as that. So we do get the 3 interchangeable head sculpts. And we also get his cane and lightsaber, and the cane here turned out pretty nice. There's no shading or anything like that, or a dry brush throughout it, but we do have a little peg on top because the right open resting hand, you do peg that into the palm there. But the sculpt of it, I think, turned out pretty nice, so they did a pretty good job with it. So we do get that, and then of course you can't have a Jedi Master figure without their lightsaber, and you can't remove the lightsaber blade from the hilt, so it would have been cool if they added an extra one with a peg on it so you could peg it on his hip or something like that, but I'm still perfectly fine with them giving us Yoda's green lightsaber here. We do get the green translucent plastic, and the hilt turned out really nice as well. Very nice sculpt and paint detail all throughout it, so we do get that stuff, and I'll show you how to peg his cane into his hand right now quickly. And the way you peg the cane in the hand is very simple. The peg is shaped a specific way, so all you do is just peg that in, and then there you go, you have Yoda with his walking cane, which he really doesn't need, as we all saw in Attack of the Clones. 3 interchangeable Jedi robes, and then we do get the Jedi Council chair, and the Jedi robe on the left here, that is meant for him when he's on the Jedi Council chair. So we do get this one here, which is the one that does come on the figure out of the packaging, which is just the regular one there that we already took a look at. So we do get that one. Then we do get this one here where he's flipping around and jumping around and fighting with his lightsaber, and that one's definitely my favorite out of all of them. We do get some nice shading, nice sculpted wrinkles and everything all throughout it. And then we do get the one here for the Jedi Council chair, and this one does have the shading as well, nice sculpt detail, and we do have a nice cool sculpted texture to all the robes as well, and I'll show you how to swap all those in a second. Then we do get the Jedi Council chair, and this thing looks dope. It's something that was definitely needed with the figure, since Yoda is such a smaller figure. I mean, he's not even 3 inches tall, but I mean, we got a nice sculpted texture to the seat of the chair or the cushion. We get some nice like silver paint for the rest of it, and you can pop this out, which I'll show you how to do all that shortly, because I'll show you how to have Yoda sitting on it. So we do get that stuff, and let me show you how to swap all those and have him sit on the Jedi Council chair right now. Alright, so the way you switch his Jedi robes is pretty simple, and the way you get him on the Jedi Council chair is also pretty simple. Now, all the Jedi robes have a square-shaped peg because he does have the peg hole on his back. Now, they say just remove his hands. I don't think you need to. All you have to do is pull his arms back, as it says on the instruction, and you just pull off the Jedi robe. You can also unpeg the arm if you want to. I find it easier to do that, but this is the way they tell you to do it. But the way I do it, if you would prefer to do it this way, you can do something like this and just leave one arm like that, slide the arm through the hole here. Make sure to line up the peg and peg it in there. There we go. And then just take the arm you popped off and peg it right back on there. And then there you go. You have Yoda with the other Jedi robe on. And then the way you get him on the Jedi Council chair is pretty simple. So you do just have to remove his head and whichever robe you have on, unless you have the Jedi Council robe on him already. So all you have to do is this just unpegs and splits apart, which is pretty simple. Get the arm back on there. So you do that, and then peg that in. Peg this side in. You have to put him in like a sitting pose as well, and then just peg the head back on there. And then the centerpiece here pops right out, and all you do is just sit Yoda right in there, and then there you go. You have him sitting on the Jedi Council chair, and it's really simple to swap the robes and to get him to sit on the chair there. So we do get all that cool stuff, and then we finally get 6 alternate hands. And starting on the right here, we do get a pair of open resting type hands, and the right hand, as you can see, is the one that does have the peg hole on it, which is meant for the cane, as I showed you before. And then in the middle here, we do get a pair of open hands or force using hands, and then finally we get a pair of gripping hands or lightsaber wielding hands, and the thumb is molded to the fingers there, and we get some very nice detail throughout all 6 hands, and they are very simple to swap out as well. But anyway, that is all the accessories included with the Jedi Master. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the reviews, shall we? Now for the item Master Yoda. To the very top of his head, it looks like he's a little bit over 2 inches and 3/4 of an inch tall, and I think that's pretty good scaling for a 6-inch scale figure line. And then here he is compared to some other masters like himself. The NECA original movie TMNT Splinter and Shredder, and the SH Figuarts Master Roshi and Jiraiya, and sorry, I don't have any other Star Wars figures. And then here he is compared to some other shorter sized characters. The SH Figuarts Kid Krillin, Grown Krillin, a Cyberman, the Resurrection of Final Form Frieza, the Infinity War Rocket Raccoon, and the Demonical Fit Goldo. And it's crazy how they worked in all this articulation with YODA but couldn't do anything with these Cybermen there. And they're pretty much the same size. And then here he is compared to the Storm Collectible Smoke, the SH Figuarts Sage Mode Naruto, the Mafex Justice League Batman, and the Figma Black Swordsman Guts. And then here he is compared to the SH Figuarts Awakened Warrior Super Saiyan Goku, and the Mezco 112 Deadpool. Anyway, there's some quick comparisons. Let's keep moving on with the rest of the review. So now for the articulation, and as I mentioned before, it being such a smaller figure, I think they worked in the articulation extremely well on this YODA, just like how they did with their MCU Rocket Raccoon. So we do have two joints at the neck here. I'm just going to show you the movement on both joints. You can get YODA to look down about that much, which is definitely good. Looks up, not too much, so not the best with that, but you do get some really nice pivot. That's just at the upper neck. The lower neck does pivot as well, and then it also does swivel. The lower neck, you don't get the best movement. The upper neck joint is where you get better articulation, but combining both joints, you get a little bit better movement when you use both of them. Now, we do get a joint at the waist here, and it just goes forward and back a tiny bit, as you can see. You do get, let's see, yeah, very minimal pivot, and then it does swivel. So better swivel and forward and back movement with the waist. The pivot really isn't the greatest there. Now for the arms here, we do have a butterfly joint there, but on my left arm, it always pops off the joint, which is extremely frustrating, and arms do pop off easily, which makes it easier for him to swap his robes. But we do get a butterfly joint, so you can get him to grip onto the lightsaber with both hands, but it is very difficult to do. So that is my main issue with this YODA, is that this keeps popping off the joint, and the whole arm pops off the figure there. But you get a little bit, a little bit of a circular motion out of the arm, not too much though. And then YODA's arms do go out to the sides about 90 degrees, which is definitely good. They do go up and down. We do not have true bicep swivel. You'll have to use it at the shoulder, and we do have the single jointed elbows that do bend in 90 degrees, and the joint also does swivel at the elbow as well. And then we do just get ball pegs on the hands, so they do move all around and swivel and all that good stuff there. Now for the legs here, YODA can kick forward 90 degrees, which is definitely good. They do go to the back decently, but the robe is hindering it a bit, about 45 degrees. Let's see if he can Jean-Claude Van Damme it here, and YODA cannot. They go out to the sides about 45 degrees. Then we do get a little bit of a hip swivel. We do have single jointed knees that do bend back a little more than 90 degrees, and the joint does swivel where it connects into the thigh and where it connects into the lower leg. Then for the ankles here, I really liked what they did to work in the ankle movement. It's on a barbell type joint, so instead of it just being a single ball peg, you get that double ball peg movement, so you get some excellent articulation out of it. But some people might not like the way it looks if you look in the pant leg there, but personally for me, I don't mind. I'd rather have the articulation than not having the articulation. So they do swivel, they hinge up really well, hinge down really well, and then you get a beautiful ankle pivot with this YODA here. I did not think his ankle articulation was going to be this good, but overall, like I said, for it being a smaller figure, I think Tamashii Nations really did work in the articulation extremely well on this YODA, and you'll be able to get him in some pretty cool, badass Jedi Master-like poses, and I'm about to show you some of them right about now. But anyway, that is my review of the SH Figuarts Revenge of the Sith YODA. Hope you enjoyed it, and my rating score for this figure with detail, I'd give it an even 9. Accessories, I'd give it an 8.5, and articulation, I would also give it an 8.5. If you would like to know the price and where to buy this figure, I did get mine from Agelessgeeks, so you can check over at agelessgeeks.com. If you can't find it on there, I do highly recommend going through their Instagram or Facebook page. I will put more information in the description below. And if you would like to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and click on that notification bell. And if you liked it, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, oh well, I guess you didn't like it. But thanks for watching. I will see you later. Star Wars line. Blah, blah. Just Yoda's box is a web exclusive, but whoops, I hit the camera. Damn it. And Bandai stamps there. Then the bottom of the box here, we do get the Badabu and Badabu Brava. Damn it. Compared to what we're usually getting. So on the front of the slipcover, what? What the hell? Compared to what we're usually getting. So on the front of the damn it, I said slipcover again. Damn it. Compared to what we're usually getting. So on the front of this, damn it, oh my god, what the hell's wrong with me? God damn it. Let's get this figure, but to take a close look at the most powerful Jedi that surprised the hell out of me when he... Alrighty, taking it closer. He's a little bit over 2 inches and 3/4 of an inch tall. Justice League Batman and the Figma Black Swordsman Guts. Ooh. Goldo and the SH Figuarts. Some other masters. Master Roshi and Jiraiya, and sorry I don't have any Star Wars figures, so too bad. And starting on the left, we do get the basic stern looking. And starting on the right here, we do get a pair of Reston.